Hello, and welcome back to your daily talk. It's good to be with you guys again. I had to take a day off yesterday. Yeah, I just got so busy, and I just felt like I needed a little bit of me time. Sometimes you gotta do that. You just gotta try and see if you can pull yourself away and regroup, put things back in perspective, and let your mind free up. Because if you're one of those people, and you probably are, probably got a lot on your plate. Am I right? So, best thing to do, take small bites. That's what I do. I take small bites every day. When I go to sleep at night, this may sound cliche, but I literally ask myself, did you do the best you could do today? At whatever I'm doing, whether it's trading, learning how to become a better trader, whether it's my music, learning how to become a better producer, singer, whatever. Did I do my best? Did I do my exercise today? How'd you eat? That's always one of my things. And I'm not out of shape. I'm in shape. I don't have any weight really on me, but I can just eat whatever I want, pretty much. I'm just one of those people. What did I have this morning? What did I have? Oh, I know what I had. I had a fish fillet sandwich, and I had some waffles. So yeah, that's kind of like how I eat sometimes, and I ask myself, man, what did you eat tonight? And I'll say, oh, I ate this, I ate that. So you got to do better than that. That wasn't the best you could do today. You know it. You need to drink more water, all that good stuff. So try and do a little bit better every day. You know what I mean? I also ask myself if I spent time alone with God. I'm big on that. I am big on thanking God for small things. I don't have to worry about thanking Him for the big things, because I thank Him for all the small little things that lead up to the big thing. Small bites. I've taken on a major project late in my life. That's one good thing that you guys are going to definitely get from me. Don't ever let people tell you that you're too old to do something, or too old to change or be different. For me to go from 40 years on a tennis court, now I haven't seen a tennis court in 3 years, it's amazing. And what I did was I just asked myself, what do you want to do? What do you want to do with your life? Do you want to continue being a tennis coach? Because being a tennis coach is great, and you get a whole lot of satisfaction out of it, and maybe the people that are coaching, but what about the rest of the world? How is you being a tennis coach going to affect the rest of the world? It won't. It won't. So I asked myself, well, how can you affect the rest of the world? Right? Well, let's see. There are a few ways. You could become a politician, right? Try and do it that way. You'd need a whole lot of help, though, wouldn't you? And chances are it's not going to work because we haven't seen it work yet, right? So how could you change the world? What's really the only way that you can change the way the world as it is today? What's really the only way you can change the world? Think about it. What would you really need in order to change the world? Now, of course, you can change it on a micro level or macro level, right? You know, you in your house, you can change the world. You can influence your child. They could go in and change the world, right? Or you could influence someone else outside of you, and they may go change the world, right? Now, that's also an option, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that because there have been people that have done that, inspired someone else to go change the world. But now, ask yourself, how can you, yourself, at your age right now, change the world? This world. Jesus was able to change the world, right? During his time, he was able to change the world during his time. But now, that wouldn't work nowadays, would it? No, that wouldn't work because there are a lot of people out here that have good teachings and great teachings, and that's been going on for hundreds and hundreds and thousands, couple thousand years now. Nobody else has done that, right? Okay, there have been a couple of people who have changed the world by speaking. I will admit that. You know, you got, Gandhi, Martin Luther King. There have been people who have changed the world with their voice. Okay, got it. Those are very exceptions, far and far few between. So, how can you change the world without being one of those kind of people? And I sat down and I thought about this for a long time before I decided to give up my tennis career. I thought, I prayed. I said, God, I want to be a soldier. I want to be what you want me to be, and I also want to be what the world needs me to be. What the world needs is a lot of help, and I'm only one man. Lord, how could just me, one man, change the world? I don't wanna follow. I wanna lead, and I wanna change this world. And I prayed, and the answer, it didn't really come for a while. It didn't come right to me. I prayed every night. And I knew that God would give me the answer, and I waited and I listened to him. And I talked to him. And he said, the only way you're going to be able to change this kind of world, you're going to have a whole lot of money. Because that's what it's going to take. You could be the best speaker in the world. You're gonna need some money. You're gonna have to have some followers that have a lot of money they give you. Well, it's gonna have to have. That's the way this world is. So I said, okay. So I need a lot of money. So I looked at my tennis. I said, well, I know good and well this salary here isn't gonna. I can barely save myself. So how can I save the world with the amount of money I'm making now? So I prayed. I kept praying. I said, God, give me the answer. What do you want me to do? You know, I've got a college degree and stuff, but still, the jobs that I would go out and get still wouldn't make me enough money to save the world. So I prayed. And one day I got the answer. It was just a random event. And you know, this is a good example of how something bad can turn into like the best thing in your life, but at the time you don't realize it. I'll tell you a good story. I was coming home one night, and this is when I was in my wild and crazy days. I wasn't all Mr. Meditation man all my life, okay? Not at all. I used to go out and run the women and all that kind of stuff. I was a tennis coach now, so that's one step down from celebrity for a lot of people. And what I did was I was coming home one night. It was Christmas Eve. I'll never forget it. And at that time, I had a car that had these big rims on them and the big tires and everything. And I don't know if you know this, but if you ever start sliding in those kind of wheels, they turn into skis on you. And so I was going over a bridge, and it was about 33 degrees outside. I had a temperature gauge in my car, so I could tell. And you know how they say bridges freeze faster, right? Well, I go over this bridge, and as I was going over the bridge, it was also like a curve. And so right before I hit the bridge, I was going around the curve, and my car started kind of sliding on the ice a little bit, the back tires. But when I hit the bridge, the whole car started spinning. It just started spinning around and around and around, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I have no control over this car right now, okay? And I'm on a bridge too, on top of it, right? So I'm just like, oh my God. I mean, if anybody's coming the opposite way, blam. Luckily, it was Christmas Eve, and I was the only maniac out still looking for women, okay? So I get, the car is spinning, and finally it spins and spins and spins, doesn't hit anything for a long time, and I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna get out of this, right? I'm like it's just gonna spin and stay on the road, it's not gonna hit anything, right? But finally it started drifting over just a little bit, and boom, hit my front tire, right? So I'm like, dang it. So, like I said, this is back in the day when I was a wild man. I had been out drinking. Okay, so I'm drinking. I wasn't drunk, but I had a little drink on me, you know what I mean? And so I'm in a nice part of town. I was almost home, and I knew that wasn't a good idea. I'm a black man, and me out on Christmas Eve, the cops have nothing else to do but to take me to jail, right? So anyway, I'm like, let me get out of this car, because there was nobody on the road at this time. It was late. And so I jumped out the car. I was like, just leave the car. It'd be better to leave the car here and walk home. You see what I mean? So I start running. And I'm running through the woods late at night, trying to avoid getting on a main street where any cops or anything would see me, because obviously somebody's going to call the cops and say something about the car sitting there in the middle of the road, right? Running through the woods. Thorns snatching my clothes, everything hitting me in the face, tree limbs I could barely see, and it felt like the more I ran, the more afraid I was, because I'm not really like that type of person, but I was in that situation, and I just felt like I needed to get away. And so after a while running through the woods, I got lost in the woods. I couldn't see anything, and I had lost my direction. And a feeling came over me that I never forget. It was like, and I'm not like a big like Jesus guy or anything, but it was almost like God was showing me how Jesus felt. And I finally made it home. And when I got home, I realized that I had left my cell phone in the car. What I wanted to do was call my mom and tell her to come get my car, and me not go back up there, you know. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I had never talked to my next door neighbor, and I had to have a choice. I had to go over there and ask him if I could use his phone. And I didn't know this guy from Adam. He didn't know me. He didn't answer. He didn't have to even answer his door. I'm surprised he did. And he let me use his phone, and we started talking. And before you know it, he said, "Hey man, it's Christmas Eve. Let's have a drink or two, man. Forget about your car. Your mom's coming to get it. You'll be fine." So he comes over to my house, and we're just talking. And he starts telling me about the foreign exchange market. I had never heard of that before. And he just started telling me like how much money I can make if I learned how to do it. Now it's 10 years ago. I finally got enough money where I could start trading about like maybe 3 years ago. And I gave up everything. I lost everything. But you know what? I kept trying. And all the people in my life, they looked at me, and a lot of my friends, they laughed at me, my family. Said that I was I kept going. Going until I got it. And don't you ever let anybody tell you that you can't reach your dreams. Because that's exactly how dreams come true. Don't listen to the naysayers. Listen to your soul. Listen to God. Ask Him to tell you. Ask Him to show you the way. If I hadn't gotten into that car accident, if I hadn't run through those woods and gotten snatched by those thorns and poked and slapped around and knocked down, I wouldn't have had a chance to get up. And getting up is what makes you strong. Getting up puts the fire inside you. And getting up is what I did. This has been your daily talk. Don't ever give up. Catch you guys later.